may have heard about the popular show Sweetie Pies with mother and son partners Robbie Montgomery, Tim Norman, and Charles Crenshaw. But there's a father and daughter partnership that has been the world's best kept secret until tonight. Stay tuned for more after this. Well, hello, and hello to you, and welcome to the Nightcap, the high quality show for women where we converse about purpose. And if this is your first time tuning in and I am new to you, I am your host, Shantae C, the coach for high achieving women just like you. And I help you, yes, helping you and equipping you to commit to your purpose in your careers and your lifestyle. And I am so happy that you, sir, and you, ma'am, have joined the League of Listeners tonight. And guess what, y'all? You family now. So we're going to get this started. So listen, get your coffee mugs ready because we about to take a sip. So don't go nowhere unless you got to get your coffee mug. All right, so y'all, I'm excited about this because this young lady who is coming up is a global speaker and she is passionate about helping young people and adults as well. But she is so passionate about you finding your purpose, and not only finding your purpose, but turning that purpose into becoming your passion as well. So, League of Listeners, I hope you got your mugs raised because this sip is about to be real as we are talking about how to make business a family matter. So without further ado, let us bring to the virtual cafe none other than my co-host, Delisha Easley.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Hi, League of Listeners. That's the name of the group, right?
The League of Listeners. Yes. Let them know that you are in the virtual cafe.
Yes, I'm in the virtual cafe. I want you guys, I'm going to take a sip just because I'm proud of my mug. So I want to introduce you to my mug, also known as Groot.
Yes. We're going to.
I'm drinking green tea tonight, so I'll be good and energized on this nightcap.
Yes, because this sip is about to get real and I'm excited about it. Yes. So we're going to get right into it, shall we? And this, y'all, is my boss sister. So it's just the love is real on tonight. This is my boss sister and we just go get into it. We're going to get into this. All right. So we're talking about how to make business a family matter. And what I love is just how you have such the element of surprise. And I just had to have you on tonight because we have heard in the world of relationships, you've heard about marriages, how the man and the woman, they may fall out, but they can get back together again.
Yeah.
You know, they can make it work and they find that place. But for you, I enjoy how you were able to, in your growing years, to take your pain, the growing process, the pain, the growing pains, as we know, you were able to take that pain and turn it into passion. And not only that, but take your father to say, listen, you're going to come with me and we're going to build this legacy together and make it profit. So share with the league your journey.
Wow, that's a great way to put it. And even though you said that I like told my dad explains it the same exact way that I forced him into this. Which I say I didn't. I'm the youngest daughter. I feel like I came humbly and asked. But yeah, as you mentioned before, I'm an author, and um, I've written other books. And this one just basically, after we went through our own healing process, and it's a continual process, as we went through therapy, I said, I feel like God is calling us to use this as a message to help other people. And I know we can't physically touch and impact everyone's life, but one way we can do it is through a book. And that is a way of living a legacy. And my dad always wanted, you know, us to be in ministry or us to work with him in some capacity. And I'm telling you, 5 years ago, you couldn't have told me we was writing a book about anything or even working together for that matter. But, you know, as the Lord would have it, it came to pass. It took time. It took years. It was a whole process, and it's being very transparent. And I think as women, as you put it, as boss women, as entrepreneurs, we are strong, we're independent, we're working, we're doing what we have to do. And sometimes we try to just continue to move forward because we're being successful, that we don't need to really address issues that may be underlining. And for me, this was not impacting like dating relationships. This was impacting relationships in general, because your first relationship, usually an example, is from your parents. And so for me, I knew that that was an issue we had, and that we needed to take the proper steps to healing that, not just for ourselves, but to help others. And then also you just learn so much about yourself. You can go deeper, you can go further. And now we're on our way, as you guys help us out, to being a bestseller again, for this book. And that's not one of the goals, but that is indirectly going to be the goal, because we're trying to get the message out to everyone in every audience, every platform, because especially in the times that we're in, I feel like we are stuck inside with our families. A lot of us are. And it is time to get real, and it's time to really address things that have been underlining for years, that we've just overlooked and just said, hey, I'm doing okay, I'm fine, but we're really not. And so that's what we're doing. I hope that answers it.
Yeah, and interesting enough, you know, as mothers are the nucleus or the glue, if you will, that holds things together. You know, over the past couple of months, even the year, it was the whole daddy-daughter movement that was going on.
Yeah.
And just as much as we find that our mothers are those nurturers or the ones that hold the glue, so our fathers or husbands, as the covering, as the leader of the household, as the guardian of the family. Explain the importance of father-daughter relationships, because we know in society that the push is to have that father figure who can nurture us as daughters or as women, so that we can have a strong example when we're older, and when we come into our dating life, or when we come into marriage life or covenant with a man, we have an example to follow. So explain that father-daughter relationship and the importance of that.
Yeah, so I think that based off of research, because there was a lot done for this book, because we didn't want to just write our stories. We wanted to actually be able to help everyone as much as we can, to the majority. You know, not every story, our story is not everyone's story, but it is the beginning of a conversation. It is it could be a resource. Like even in the foreword of the book is where I dedicate so much of things that women, from a women's perspective, that we need to address, as well as the importance of the father-daughter relationship and the importance of a father being in your family. Research shows us that the quality time is more important than the quantity. And so sometimes we feel that, well, your father has been there, he was around, he took you out on weekends, or he was in the home, but he really didn't make that quality time. And so that's the importance that we we need to take into consideration, as well as realize how impactful it can be. And sometimes we don't see it until later on in our lives. So some people may say that they feel like they had a good father-daughter relationship, but then when they think back on the way that they pick men, or the way that they handle certain relationships, or the way that they never trust people, sometimes it goes back to that relationship of their father. Whether it was in a negative aspect or a positive. So the importance of the father-daughter relationship is very important, and it shouldn't be overlooked, and it shouldn't be, I think sometimes, this is just my perspective, especially in the African American community, we put so much on the mother and the Black woman, and being independent and strong, and seeing that only, that when it comes to fathers, we almost don't even have an expectation for them to do more than pay for lunch or see us once a month. Even if they are in the family, in your home, it's still just like, oh, we'll go to mom about that. And those were some of the issues that we talked about, we addressed in our book, was because it was a distant relationship. It wasn't all of a sudden. It was something that started when I was a teenager and went up. And then later on, when my parents were divorced, is when my dad was like, oh, I really don't have a relationship with Delisha as I thought I did, because she had been, as you mentioned earlier, like the nucleus, she was the buffer. So a lot of things that we didn't agree on, he just was like, okay, whatever, I'll just do without. I'm an adult, or like, I'll wait till I get grown and do my own thing. But then when that's no longer there, you have to be real. It's just like if you were in a mediation, and they don't have the point of the mediation is for people to be able to get both sides and, and talk it out. And so that's when I think it became real to my dad. And then from there, we kind of just was like, oh, well, not talking. And that's where the whole years of not talking and just, having resentment, and both of us feeling two different kind of ways, because neither one of us would talk about what was the issue and have a real conversation. And so we finally did that, and then we got better. And then I asked him, could we go to therapy together? And he was like, sure. And that was like, whoa, like, is the sky splitting? Like, is Jesus coming back? Like, because it was surprising to me, because I just didn't think that he would, just because of him being a pastor, him being a man of God. Like, that was very humbling, to say, I don't know it all and I don't have it together. So that was major for me. But overall, I feel like there's an importance to the father-daughter relationship. And I feel like it's a necessity that we pursue that. And some people, you may not ever know your father, but you may have father figures in your life. And it's important to have those relationships and to keep them, and to, they'll help you in the long run, like with everything in life, and dealing with business, professionally, a personal level. I just think that it is a necessity, and especially in the time that we are living in. Hope that answers your question.
Awesome. Yeah. And you were getting some love.
Oh, yeah. I see that. Hi, guys. Hi, Jenny. You made it back to New York, I guess. Okay.
That's your tribe. Okay. Team. Delisha's in the building. Okay. And Jen says hi.
Yes.
Hi,
Sister Tanai. Yeah, I haven't. Some of these people I haven't seen in a very long time because of quarantine.
But they are showing you some virtual love, and
I appreciate it, guys.
Feeling the conversation, absolutely.
Yes, glad you made it back.
Yes. So, with what you're saying here too, communication, because in any relationship, we know that communication is key. So when your father, when you all were trying to, reconcile and get that daddy-daughter relationship back? Who broke the ice to say, hey, we need to have a talk? Who was the one that took the initiative or stepped up first, you or your father?
I would say it was kind of both of us. Like, so this was the thing. We were not speaking in regards to like a text on your birthday was what you were getting, and like a text on Christmas, you know? And I think God, well, now we know separately, God was kind of dealing with both of us separately. And so when it was like a text message and we were going to end up seeing each other. And then I said, let's talk. And then he's like, yeah, we need to have a conversation. And that was the first time we addressed the not speaking for years, and just had a real coming to Jesus moment. So I think it was kind of like both of us. I know my dad had reached out before, but I just kept feeling like I wasn't going to be heard. So I just didn't even want to waste my time. And then I think after God dealt with like my heart and like just me realizing the importance and the necessity of it, that I needed to, hear him out and then talk. And then we got better. And then a few years after that, that's when I asked, can we do the counseling together?
And that is amazing. Both of you being faith-based believers or in the faith in church, raising awareness and knowing that there was something that needed to be addressed, because, especially those who are believers or in Christ, we know that forgiveness is key. And I really respect how I spoke about this some time back, about sometimes we have to wait for the opportunity of the grace of forgiveness to present itself. And that means that when we're in that place, because sometimes, we can be honest to say, I'm not ready yet. It's not that I can't forgive, but I'm just not in a place, in a space, because like I said, sometimes our own hesitancies for you not being heard, or feeling for somebody else to be just feeling like, they don't have the strength to face the person. So it's okay to know where you are. And just weigh that opportunity for the grace to forgive, to present itself, where the sting doesn't hurt, or for you, you felt with, I'm sure with discernment and prayer that, okay, my father, when I go this time, I sense that he's going to be open enough to receive, but you made, both of you made the opportunity and the space to know, okay, we need to make this right, because yeah.
And what in regards to that, I get asked a lot, what if you don't feel like you're ready? And so in the book, I actually address that. But one part that's a little different than kind of like what you were saying is that this book called Do It Scared, by Scott Allen. And you just go for it anyway, because I don't think that it will ever be a perfect time. And my dad would never be perfect, and I would never be perfect. But you have to have confidence, and you have to have courage, and when you have that, you're able to face things head on. But that's developed by doing it, by facing it unscared. Like, just, okay, if he says this, if he says that, or if I said, who cares? I'm just going to do this anyway. Another thing is Zig Ziglar. I was trying to find this quote. Yeah, he says, fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And I feel like that's, excuse me, that's what I was doing. I was going to decide to face everything, and we rise above it. Like, we were not going to let this hinder us, let us hold us back, because now we're seeing and hearing testimonies almost daily from people who haven't even read, like, the book just came out, like they are getting it in the mail, and like, you have no idea how this has blessed me. I just read the intro, or I just read the forward, or, and they're just like blown away. And we're blown away because this is like I said before, is way bigger than us. And this is starting to get people to think about, to go to therapy, to reach out to their fathers, for fathers to reach out to their children that they haven't reached out to, and just to deal with a lot of issues that they may have held in their heart or had in, that's actually hindering them. And they're now realizing this is where the disconnect was. This was where the fall off is. So it's just amazing to see that. And then I just always try to tell people, if you don't feel ready, like, you have to be kind of ready, but you don't have to expect, for it to be perfect. Exactly. So I think you do need to get to a place of perfection, meaning maturity, and where, like, there's so many ways and suggestions that I give in the book about, like, hey, having a stress ball on site, having, doing some workout before you go, like, whatever is going to be your trigger, like knowing when to let up and then how to introduce that. And if it's a process, because it's usually a process. You don't want to just come in and say, you did everything wrong when I was growing up. Like, you want to, kind of just say, this is how I feel, come from your own perspective first, and then asking them for their feedback. And I give, steps on managing resentment, anger, and fear, and how you let that go and over time, and how you deal with that during the healing process. So I think it's just, it just varies.
Exactly. Also, with that as well, now this is another concern that I have with faith-based as well. You both went to get counseling, yes?
Yes.
Spirit-filled, loving the Lord. But there's nothing wrong with sitting on someone's couch or getting therapy. Speak to that, because you all, I know your father's a pastor, you all were in the church, but even in that, you could have went to anybody. You could have went to a fellow trusted minister. You could have went to another type of faith-based counselor. But what made you go the extra mile to say, we may possibly need clinical care?
I think partially because I have a psychology degree. And then the other reason is that I think that it's been a negative stigma in our community. I put a post up, I don't know, last month or something, telling everyone it's, Black people, it's okay to go to therapy and you can still pray. Because the thing for us is that we both love God and we were both still doing our purpose, but we were not, talking. So that's an issue. And so we needed to, if we wanted to be real and wanted to be transparent as and authentic as possible with our gifts that God has given us, we needed outside help. And we did go to, the therapist we saw, it was a Christian. But I encourage everyone, start where you are. If you believe a certain way, I believe you should, go and get a Christian counselor to help you. But we knew that what we were doing was not enough and that we weren't trained for this. If we were, we wouldn't be here, right? So that's the catch-all. I think that, and I think as being a believer, and for him being a pastor, and I'm also a minister, like, it's just, we see so much stuff, and you told time and time again, what happens in our house stays in our house. And you feel like, as a pastor's child, you feel like sometimes everybody's watching your every move, and you trying to live right. You don't know if you're living right for God, your parents, or whatever. And those are things that you go through. And honestly, you can't get through it with just prayer. That's just the realness. And I think that in itself is a taboo. And some conversations that we meet people and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, because you've tried praying for 20 years and you still don't like him, or you still don't like your mom, or you know, like there's I'm just keeping it real because we're at night capping. We're sipping the tea and I'm spilling the tea. Okay. Trying to keep it 100. All right, Javon, you get me.
Yeah. And yes, sometimes a different point of view is needed. Yes, most definitely.
It really is. And it at the outside, an outside view helps you see everyone's perspective and not just your own. So I think that really helped. And we think that we're in 2020 and that more people are more progressive with the faith, as Javon put it, faith without works. But there still isn't. Like, a lot of people still frown at therapy or just say, that may work, it may not, but it worked and it's working for us. That's all I can attest to.
Amen. Awesome to that. And again, thank you all, League of Listeners, for tuning in. And for those of you who are tuning in and you're just like, what is this? This is the Nightcap with your host, Shantae C. And I have my boss sister on tonight, Delisha Easley. And we are talking about when business becomes a family matter. And we are just here. And we are here sharing in purpose as she is talking about her new project that is awesome and amazing. And I'm not going to spill no tea on tonight, but I'm going to let her share it after this quick break. So listen, y'all, continue to have your cups and your mugs because we are about to get some wonderful, wonderful information after this. So listen, real quickly, y'all. I don't want you to forget, and I'm putting a shameless plug in here. I need you all to join www.thenightcap.net. Yes, www.thenightcap.net, because the League of Listeners group is official, and I want you to join that and click on the link in the feed to join the email list so that you can get up on the latest, such as this podcast on tonight with my boss sister, Delisha E. We've got some amazing things, and she's got something amazing that she's going to share that we are excited about. So here we go. Boom. Spill it.
Yes. Okay. So this is our new book, Letters from the Heart, with my dad. That's my dad, not my brother. I know he looks young. And he's actually on the live. I see him in the chat. Hi, Daddy. Yeah, this is our new book, and you can get it wherever books are sold. We will be having a special on Kindle ebook this weekend. So follow us on social media, and you'll know when that link goes live. It's going to be at a discounted rate for a short period of time. We've gotten great feedback, and if you purchase it at all on Amazon or anywhere else, please leave us an Amazon review. That would help us a lot, so people can easily find us and you can easily see the book. Javon, you're hilarious. That's why we clarify. It was a long process on picking what picture to put on the cover of the book, because we wanted to make sure people knew that it was father and daughter. That's why we have that tagline, a daughter, a dad and his daughter, because some wives are a little young nowadays.
But I ain't gonna lie, because I thought that was your husband too. I was like, oh, that's not. But I look, no shameless, but thank you, Javon. Thank you. I was thinking it, you said it. So thank you. But yes, God is good and God is a keeper. And hey, Daddy, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. This is your other child. This is what's up. This is your other child. And we're so glad that you have tuned in with us to help
you guys.
This legacy, this daddy-daughter legacy y'all got going on. So love it. Love it.
Love it. Thank you guys.
To y'all for this effort. Again, I'm going to sip. Okay, so everybody go on Amazon right now. You see it. I'm gonna let it. Let me let that brew for a minute, sis. Everybody brew for a minute. All right. Okay.
Yes, let it breathe for a minute.
So basically the book is out. This
Yes.
is, Father's Day has passed. So this is an opportune time for you all, League, to support this, because this is a great, like I said, a great effort, and it will bless and touch so many lives, so many relationships, such as daddy-daughter relationships. Even if you are mother and son, or mother-daughter, just looking at the root, or if you look at the whole picture of it, bringing it in, how to reconcile in the name of Jesus. And this is just a beautiful effort. So with that, share with us also just your family. Now that, yes, I know this is a daddy-daughter effort, but how did this impact your brother, just your family as a whole? How did this bless you?
So I have 2 older sisters. As I said, I'm the third daughter, so I'm also known as the princess. I'm intended #princess wife. Now you guys get what that's all about. And then I have a younger brother. So for I can just speak for myself. I know my dad has mentioned this in different interviews, just about how it made him reevaluate his relationship with all of his children, and to really reach out and communicate with them. For us as a family, I think it has brought us more together, in regards to even doing a book, doing ministry together. We have so many people involved. My sister's a stylist, so she did all of my clothes for the photo shoots. My brother is a producer and DJ, so he's done a voiceover for the commercials. It's just like we're all working together, and I think this was a dream of my dad's, and we never knew this is how it would turn out. So it's amazing to see that we're connecting on a different level, because as you mentioned, it's like doing business, right? And so some people encourage you not to do business with your family. Some people have good experiences, and so far ours is great. And we are, doing it from a family perspective, and everyone's an entrepreneur, I should say. Even if we don't want to be, we indirectly became one. It's just like, I was always an educator, and like, I'm just going to be a teacher and I'm fine with it. And then, I start writing, and, 3.5 books later, here we are. So God is good, is working together with family. And I think working for my dad with all of his children is a blessing too.
And that is truly making business a family matter, in and of itself. That is amazing. And thank you so much, Delisha, for just sharing and just giving that transparency. And again, you all, League of Listeners, the book is out, Letters from the Heart, Father-Daughter. Get your copy today. Father's Day has passed, but it's still the gift that can bless your life and your legacy. And Delisha, we are just so happy that you have come and you have shared with us on tonight. But before you go, one more thing. What would you say to our League of Listeners? Perhaps there is someone or a parent or a child that is going through or experiencing this. What word of encouragement can you offer our listeners as we begin to sign off?
Yes. I would encourage everyone, either a parent or a daughter or a son, even a grandparent, whoever you are that's designated as the parent for someone, even if your children are adults and you feel like you never had that relationship, don't ever give up hope. That God can work it out no matter how old they are. I'm 30 something years old, and God is still working on our relationship. And so I think for the children as well, to know that that you sometimes have to be the one to lead your parents to freedom in the relationship. So take that first step, do it scared, and walk in purpose.
Well, League, you have heard it on tonight. Thank you again, Delisha, for those wonderful words of wisdom. And to you, League of listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Nightcap tonight. All right. So, Delisha, you already know. Till next time.
Thank you so much, sis. I really enjoyed myself. Let me get my cup one more time.
Yes. As we say, take action, take courage. But most of all, don't forget, take a sip.
Good night.